Ding. Tashi Dalek, everybody. Welcome to our Sunday meditation practice. I'd like to welcome you all here. I'm Kat Hedrick, one of the volunteers at the center. Before we get started, I do have a couple of announcements. First and foremost, if you haven't silenced your cell phones, please do so at this time. And put your phones away so you can be fully present for the talk and meditation. If you must use your phone, please do so outside the meditation hall. We invite you to join our weekly Tuesday events with Medicine Buddha practice starting at 6 o'clock and our public talk at 7 p.m. Please note there will not be any classes on Tuesday, June 16th. This week, for our Tuesday evening talk, Geshe Pendala will continue speaking on the 37 practices of a bodhisattva. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m., the Drepung Loseling monks conduct evening prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama's long life, as well as for other teachers. On Thursdays at 4:30 p.m., the Loseling monks conduct the Protector Puja for smooth journeys, successive interviews, and medical treatments, new businesses, etc. We are very excited to announce that Simon & Schuster has released Engaged Compassion, 7 practices to cultivate resilience, connection, and a joyous life, by our founder and spiritual director, Geshe Lobsang Tenzing Nege. This book is available in our gift shop and from your favorite bookseller. Join Geshe Lobsang for his archived webinar discussion, Global Read, with Charter for Compassion on their YouTube channel, where he shows us how genuine compassion, practiced with intention, becomes a source of resilience rather than exhaustion, and a powerful force for a meaningful change at both individual and societal levels. And you continue to deepen your practice with the Intermediate series, led by Geshe Pende, which starts Saturday, July 25th on Zoom only. Held once a month through November, this course explores essential Mahayana Buddhist teachings and meditations. The series is designed for those who have already completed our Foundation series. After today's class, join us for the Sunday Chai Social Hour, hosted by our members and volunteers for refreshments, community, and conversation. Hope to see all of you there. As a reminder, please do not park on the grass along the driveway or behind the building. If the lot is full, overflow parking can be found via Skyline Drive at the John Lewis Elementary School, which is of course, outside of school operating hours. Only access the school parking via Skyline Drive and walk through to our site. Information on all these events can be found in the lobby and on our website at drepung.org. If anyone is interested in volunteer opportunities to get more involved in supporting our center and programs, please see me or our volunteer coordinator, Michael Duffel, in the red shirt over there. And if you are interested in becoming a member to support our ongoing programs and to take advantages of benefits like discounts on courses and retreats, applications are available in the library, and you can also register online. There's a donation box near the entrance of this room. Your generous support helps us to continue to offer programs and services like this to our Atlanta community and to those around the world via our online platforms. Now, as our custom, please stand as we invite our guest teacher, Peggy Clement, Senior CBCT Instructor, to come in to lead today's practice. Good morning. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Great. I know Kat asked us to put away their phones, but I'm going to take mine out just so I have a clock in front of me. Don't want to keep anyone from chai tea in an hour.
Welcome. Nice to see many familiar faces. If you are here for the first time, could you raise your hand? Okay, welcome. Quite a few. Lovely to see you all here. Repeat customers and new. My name is Penny Clements, and as Kat said, I am a teacher of CBCT, which is an acronym for Cognitively Based Compassion Training. And Cognitively Based Compassion Training is a compassion training. It's a course, roughly 16-hour course, that helps us develop inner skills to bring more compassion to ourselves, self-compassion, but also to others. In this course, we offer a lot of reflective exercises and 8 meditation practices. So I do teach meditation, and I'm not a Buddhist monk. I have some experience. So we are here to meditate this morning, right? That's great. Okay.
Just a brief interview.
Yes.
Could move it just a little bit, get just a little bit of room if it's possible.
Oh, sure.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Thank you.
Okay, is that better?
Yes, thank
Okay, good. Thank you. So well taken care of here. The first Sunday of every month is held for what we call the basics of meditation. So we'll be talking a little bit about what meditation is, why we might engage in meditation, and then we'll meditate. And hopefully after the meditation, which will be a guided meditation, we'll have a little bit of time left for some questions or just some insights to share with each other. Anything we learned and want to share. But then also we have a social and tea afterwards, so we can continue conversation outside of the meditation hall at the end of the hour. So I know some of you are new to this space. Is there anyone brand new to meditation here this morning? Wow, that's really changed over the last few, maybe 10, 15 years. So most people have tried some meditation. The meditation that I'll be offering is one of the meditations from CBCT. It's called Developing Stable and Clear Attention. So we'll be working with our mind. We won't be trying to stop thoughts. We won't be trying to levitate or do anything funky like that. So it's a very safe and gentle practice. So if you were nervous at all or wondering, just know that many people enjoy it, and it is a practice for beginners, but also a practice for people who have been meditating for a long time. And it's what we consider to be a foundational meditation, that the other meditations build from developing the skills of developing a more stable and clear attention. I wanted to share a little story of something I did yesterday. I was at a pool. It was a beautiful day here in Atlanta, right? Just not too hot, not too humid. And was at a pool with some friends, and their grandchildren were there who have just completed 2nd and 5th grade. And being with these kids, right, the first week of summer, they were having the best time in the pool. Swimming for hours, I think from 1 o'clock to almost 7 p.m. They might hop out to nibble sandwich and then cannonball, back in the pool. But just the delight and the freedom of seeing these kids enjoying summer, enjoying swimming in the pool was so uplifting. Just such a moment of joy and goodness. And I recognized that at the time because it actually took me back a little bit to when I was a kid and it was summer vacation. When I was young, we got to be bored a lot in summer, which was really nice. I'm not sure kids these days get to do that as much. And even sharing that story with you now, I can feel that joy, that delight of these kids, and being with them, the delight I felt. And it makes me smile now, sharing the story. So I wanted to invite each of you to think about something recently, the last month, the last year, this morning, that felt like that moment of goodness to you, or joy, or delight, or happiness, or maybe comfort. I saw some friends hug when they greeted each other here. It could just be that moment. What does bring that to mind? Or for those of us coming here often, just sometimes walking through the door into this meditation hall, we kind of relax and settle in. So just see if you can find a personal experience of just a moment of comfort, of goodness, connection, maybe. And just rest with that moment for a minute. And notice how that makes you feel in your body when you think about that memory or that experience. Maybe it was a funny meme or a TV show or a good cup of coffee or two. And if you find that that is a pleasant feeling, just savor it for a moment. Rest there. And then I just wanted to ask if anyone might be willing to share their moment, if they feel comfortable doing so, what their moment was. Big, small, recently, long ago.
I'll share.
Yes, thank you.
I just finished reading the book The of Golden last night, and I was posting something about it because I wanted to really capture what I felt when I finished reading that book, because it was such a wonderful story. And I was looking up words because I couldn't find a word that matched what I felt, and I found the word wistful.
Full.
And it was, grateful for the experience, but sad it's over. And so it was such a sort of dichotomy of the word. And it just, but the book did bring me a lot of joy, even though it was, maybe there were some sad parts. It was such an experience, learning things from the book and reading the book and loving the characters. And, yeah.
Can you tell me your name?
Sasha.
Sasha? I'm going to repeat that a little bit because we have people joining via streaming. And welcome to you too. So Sasha was sharing, she just finished a really delicious book, and it made her feel full thinking about the book and the characters and how much she enjoyed that, even if it had some maybe tender and sad parts in it. Just all human experience, right? But nothing like a good book. And what was the name of the book?
Theo of Golden.
Theo of Golden. Thank you. Wonderful. Has anyone else read that book? Oh, yeah. Anyone else want to share? I wonder, if I could invite you also to notice how it feels when you hear somebody else's moment, right? What that feels like to you. Would we? Yeah. Thank you.
I was thinking about how every year my mom, my grandmother, we get together and we can tomatoes. And so we do that every year, like, do a whole big batch of potatoes for the whole year. It's really sweet when we get together. It's also kind of bittersweet because she's getting older, and so it's like, although we were kind of getting super cool now, it's like really beautiful that and I'm 30, so that's
Oh, lovely. And what is your name?
Courtney.
Courtney, nice to meet you. So Courtney was sharing that a moment of goodness or joy was canning tomatoes with her mother and grandmother. It's something you do every year. How precious that is. Oh, thank you. So now I want to just do a little more with our imagination, because even bringing our memories to mind is using our imagination. This is something humans can do. And for this little exercise using our imagination. If it's helpful, you can close your eyes, but you could also just have a little, soft gaze in front of you. Just lower your eyelids a bit. So if it feels okay and you want to engage in this exercise, I just invite you, again, to have a low gaze or close your eyes and picture in your mind's eye a large bowl of lemons, bright yellow lemons in this bowl. And then imagine you pick up a lemon. You feel its kind of bumpy, thick skin. Maybe smell the lemon. It doesn't always smell through the skin, but it might. Then imagine cutting that lemon in half. And now bringing the cut lemon up to your nose and smelling that. And then maybe just squeeze a little of that lemon juice into your mouth, or even maybe bite into that lemon. And then you can put the lemon down and open your eyes if they're closed. So did you notice anything in the body doing that exercise? You're pointing to your, yeah. Did anyone else feel some sensation here? Yeah, or puckering, just thinking about that lemon? Yeah. So this is just a way to kind of play with our attention. It turns out how we feel emotionally, how we feel physically, what sensations unfold, is tied very directly to what we're paying attention to in our mind. So if we're paying attention to eating a lemon, we might feel some squeezing right in the throat or the mouth. If we're paying attention to a really nice time we had reading a book or canning tomatoes, we might feel something else. So this is something that we can get better at doing, choosing what we pay attention to. And we all know how to pay attention. We wouldn't have gotten here today if we didn't know how to pay attention. So this is a human capacity that we all have. But mind wandering is also something humans do. And it's very prevalent. Scientists tell us that about 50% of the time our mind is just wandering. It's really not focused on what we're doing or what's in front of us. Which can be, not always is, problematic to our well-being, our health and happiness, because oftentimes when our mind wanders, we have what's called a negativity bias. So our mind will wander into something negative. So we might engage in a lot of rumination or a lot of excessive worry, something in the past that didn't go well, or regretting, or something in the future, or some fearful fantasy of how something might unfold, rather than kind of being in the present. So meditation can help us strengthen this ability, this skill of paying attention to what we want to pay attention to and sustain our attention there a little bit longer. The meditation we're going to do can also help us develop the skill to notice those distractions, because we do get distracted, but to notice them. And this meditation practice can help us develop the skill to not only notice those distractions, but kind of unhook from them and return our attention to where we'd like it to be in the present moment. Any questions about that? No? Okay. Paying attention and being focused has just its own health benefits. It can help calm the nervous system, help regulate our nervous system for better health. But it also can help us finish our job, right? Finish a project. If we're cooking and we're using a sharp knife, we maybe want to pay close attention so we don't, slice our finger in the process. It can help us be present for each other and help calm a busy mind. can help create a little more stillness, or maybe inner peace, less stressed, body and mind. And when we feel more regulated, then we have the opportunity to be present for other people. If we are dysregulated, lost in worry, rumination, our body naturally is more self-focused because our threat system is turned on and activated. So naturally, we need to take care of ourselves. So it's harder to be present for others. So I would say, in a sense, from my experience and understanding, which is limited, meditation is really a beautiful opportunity to know yourself a little bit better, know how your mind operates, know how your body operates, know how you're feeling, and then develop some skills that allow you to have some choice in navigating the ups and downs of life. It's a beautiful invitation to connect deeply with yourself, all parts of yourself. Embrace all parts of yourself. And when we're more connected to oneself, then we can be more connected to each other in a very authentic way, in a very healthy way. And what researchers know is that there's an epidemic of loneliness in our country right now. And I don't think it's just our country. I think it's pretty prevalent everywhere. And loneliness is really unhealthy. If you like to kind of geek out on the science of all this, you could Google the Harvard study. It's a longitudinal study that showed what really contributes to a healthy, long, happy life is not status, education, or wealth, but the quality of relationships, of warm, nurturing relationships, which seems to be missing for many people in postmodern day society. So slowing down to connect with ourselves, we can better connect with others, we become healthier, and again, the science, so we have lower cortisol, lower blood sugar levels when we're regulated. We can have healthier relationships with others, which contributes to healthier communities, healthier societies, right? Maybe a healthier world. So we're going to practice steadying our attention. We know how to pay attention, but we can even get better at it, like any skill. It takes some practice, but we can do it. And for this practice, you'll pick an object of focus. So breath is what many people use, just the feeling of breath coming in and out of the nose. Or you might feel it at the belly, like your belly filling up and emptying, or the chest rising and falling. So if there's a place that you really can sense the breath coming in and out of the body, choose that place. If breath is not comfortable for you, that's fine. If you've got like a sinus infection or it's hard to find the breath in the body, you could choose to focus on sensations just unfolding in the body or sounds in the room. Sometimes in your home, people might have like a candle or a stone or something as an object of focus. So it's not that important what the object is, but it's just something that feels sort of neutral that you can return your attention to over and over again, because your mind will wander, and then we'll bring it back over and over again. So just take a moment to think about what you might use for this practice today, your object of focus. And I tend to guide for breath. So I will probably do that. I'll try to remember to include other options as well. But you know what your object of focus is. And then just as a little bit of encouragement for our practice, I wanted just to read a few paragraphs from the book that Kat mentioned, Engaged Compassion. This is Lobsang Tenzineggy's book that's just been released. It's called Engaged Compassion, 7 Practices to Cultivate Resilience, Connection, and a Joyous Life. And this chapter is Developing a Clear and Stable Attention. And he writes, when our attention is steady, even hard tasks feel smoother. The experience of being fully engaged in something, whether it's chopping wood, writing, painting, listening to a friend, or cooking a meal, can bring us into a state of quiet joy. Neuroscientists call it flow, and it's one of the most restorative states our minds can enter. It calms the nervous system, quiets the mental chatter, and awakens a sense of purpose and connection. The feeling of alert stillness, of being both relaxed and clear, that's the mind in balance. That's the foundation of compassion, because without stability, we can't truly see ourselves or others. When the mind is scattered, racing with stress about a looming deadline, clouded by anxiety after a tense conversation, or overwhelmed by the emotional weight of caregiving, it's nearly impossible to notice someone else's suffering, much less respond to it skillfully. We might snap at a coworker who's simply asking a question, withdraw from a friend who's trying to connect, or assume someone's bad mood is about us. But when the mind is steadied, settled after a walk in nature, grounded after a few deep breaths, or calm by recalling a moment of nurturance, we become more attuned. We can hold space for different experiences. We can respond with clarity and care instead of reacting in accordance with old patterns. In this balanced state, our nervous system shifts out of survival mode. The threat system quiets, our heart rate slows, breath deepens, and the brain's social engagement circuits come back online. We can read facial expressions more accurately. We can feel empathy, and we have the inner resources to offer care. From that ground of inner safety, compassion arises naturally. It's not forced or abstract. It flows from a regulated body and clear mind. So I think that captures why we consider this to be a foundational meditation practice. Any questions before we start the practice? Okay. Ready to give this a try? So it's important to be comfortable while you practice. So I invite you to, if you need to stretch or roll your shoulders or just settle back into your seat, please do that. And at any time in the practice, if you're uncomfortable, feel free to adjust your posture. I had injured my back last summer, and sitting a long time was hard. If that resonates and you need to stand at the back of the room, please feel free to do that as well. If you're in a chair, it's helpful to have your feet flat on the floor, if that's helpful, if that's comfortable, I meant to say. And then we want to sit up straight. So giving our full weight to the chair or cushion, we feel settled. And sitting up straight, we feel some energy and alertness. So this not too tight, not too loose, sort of the Goldilocks of sitting posture, whatever that means for you. Your hands can just be on your lap, relaxed, or your thighs. You might want to tuck your chin slightly so the back of the neck isn't compressed. And I'll start by ringing the bell and end by ringing the bell. I invite you to just turn your lens of awareness inward towards the body. And draw just gentle attention to the places where your body connects with the ground, with the cushion, with the chair. And just notice the sensation at those points of connection. In meditation, we're sitting, and we know that we are sitting. We're not going anywhere. We're present here with ourselves, with each other. If your feet are on the ground, you might sense into the support of the floor beneath your feet. Earth's gravity supports us all. So we can settle in, perhaps slow down a bit. Give your full weight to the chair or cushion. Feel the support of the chair, maybe at your back also. And with a growing sense of being settled, stable, we could just gently and slightly reach the crown of our head towards the ceiling, sensing into the full extension of our spine. So we're sitting upright, but we don't want to feel uptight. So we can just relax the hands, relax the belly, relax the face muscles. The eyes can be closed or slightly open with a soft gaze a few feet in front of you. If settling is hard this morning, no worries. We're just noticing what's present and relaxing with that. This posture can help support a sense of stability, alertness, but also relaxation. I invite you to take a few rounds of breath in and out through the nose. You can make these full, deep breaths, really filling up on the inhale, bringing in that fresh oxygen into the body, sort of waking up a sleepy mind, bringing us energy. And then on a slow exhale, we could let go of tensions or discursive thoughts. So just repeat this at your own pace. And then you can just allow the breath to return to its natural rhythm. And before we begin the part of the practice where we're developing our attention, I want to invite you to call back to mind the moment, the memory, when you experienced that sense of connection, fullness, goodness, joy, delight, comfort. And just bring that to mind as vividly as you can. Either your moment or someone else's moment or an imagined moment. And see if you can notice the colors, the noise, or the quiet. Maybe you can think about what else was present, who was present, what qualities were present. Is there a sense of warmth, connection, belonging, ease, peace, happiness, love, compassion, comfort? And if you're able to connect with those qualities, if there was kindness or generosity, see if you can notice how that feels in the body. And if you notice that to be pleasant or helpful or healthy, just rest in those feelings, make them big for yourself. This sense of feeling steady, having a balanced nervous system. Just embrace that. Encourage that feeling. This is actually always available to us, like a buried treasure. And from this place of groundedness and stability, I invite you to place your attention gently on your object of focus. Whether that's breath or sound or sensations. Just gently place your attention there. And let go of any judgment or expectation or outcome. We're just going to have an experience. So the technique is to gently place your attention on that object of focus. And when you notice that the mind has wandered into a thought or image or a story, no problem. We're using that awareness to notice that our attention has wandered off. And we're gently going to let go of the distraction and escort our attention back to our object of focus. If breath is your object of focus, you just feel the breath come in, feel the breath go out. No two breaths are alike. When you become aware that you've gotten distracted by a to-do list or a conversation, this is an opportunity to build that muscle of returning your attention to where you want it to be. To your anchor. It's very natural to feel sleepy or for the mind to get busy. That happens. You just notice that. And return the attention to the breath or your anchor. It might be helpful to count the breaths. So breathe in, breathe out is 1. In, out 2, and just repeat to 5 and start over again. The mind will continue to generate thoughts because that's what it does. But we're placing our attention on our object of focus, and you might think about those thoughts or relate to them as like somebody's TV on in the apartment next door. It's there, but we're not paying attention to it in the most gentle way. If you're aware that your mind is a little dull or overly active, you could choose to go back to recalling that moment of nurturance, that moment of connection or kindness, and rest there. Or return your attention to just the feeling of sitting on the cushion or chair and ground yourself in those sensations. And then when you feel ready, return to your object of focus. There's no need to force anything. And you always have choices. Distractions can arise in the form of thoughts or images or body sensation, memories, worries, to-do list. And that's all fine, that's all unfolding. And in this practice, we just become aware of that with curiosity. Like, oh, there's a thought, there's an image. And just let go of it and gently escort your your attention back to your breath or object of focus. No judgment required. So as we begin to conclude our practice, we might rest for a moment with this question for ourselves: how important is it for me to have more choice over what I'm paying attention to? How important is it to disengage from distraction, especially if it's harmful thinking about myself or someone else? How helpful would it be to be able to sustain my attention on a task or person or on a perspective that I do belong. And then we could further reflect on really how wonderful it is that we can enhance our ability to choose what we're paying attention to elicit feelings in the body that are more pleasant, that are healthier, that help us feel a greater sense of ease or inner peace. We can do this. And how wonderful it is that we also can offer this type of environment to others by being present with others. So if we've benefited from any part of our practice, we can dedicate our practice to those who we know to be in need of greater health, greater peace, and if we're comfortable, we could extend that dedication to wider and wider circles of beings, maybe even all beings on the earth. And as we conclude and close, we could set an intention to continue to bring these skills and insights with us off the cushion or chair into our everyday life and into our interactions with others. Thank you for your practice. We have a few minutes before tea. Anyone would like to share something they noticed, or an insight, or a challenge, or a question? Just how was that? Yes.
It was very good. For years,
Oh, thank you.
I've used the breath as my focus of meditation, usually counting. This time I didn't count. I just focused on the breath, just the breath. And at first, I could feel the cold air coming in through my nose, and I kept that focused. And when that became so comfortable, then it was the top of my chest expanding with each breath. And then I started paying attention to the breath itself, and that space between when you've just inhaled all the way, and it's almost like an in-between separate place, and then you start to exhale. And something strange started to happen, and that was, it wasn't just my chest that was expanding. It kind of felt like everything was expanding. And suddenly, kind of like very as a matter of fact, not a revelation, but, well, duh, I realized that my thoughts were in the same place. They were expanding. What was happening was all of me. And I think it's the first time, forever, that there was a real true connection between what was happening with my body and my mind at the same time. That's it.
Thank you. Wow. I don't know, but I'm going to guess that maybe that's what the neuroscientists meant by flow in the chapter. That deep connection. Yeah, and it's interesting that unfolded when you sort of let go of the counting piece. Great noticing. In cognitively based compassion training, we have a list of these enduring capabilities that we're developing, and the very first one is attuning to sensations as they unfold in the body. And that was such a beautiful illustration of awareness, and meditation really is much about awareness. Thank you for sharing. I love that, duh. May we all experience that. Anyone else? Yes. Oh, can you hang on a second? We have a microphone for those here and also the folks joining us online. Thank you.
There was a moment where you said, imagine that's the noise. I have like pretty bad ADHD, but like imagine the noise is like a TV in a different room. And it was like very interesting. I was thinking about work in a very specific conversation, and then I imagined it muffled behind a wall in a different room, and somehow that like brought me back to center to a certain degree. And it was like, there's just like these little techniques like that I was like, oh, I don't have to be like dead center with my thought. It's like you can just like use your imagination to kind of put it in a different room. Like literally, it was pretty. In hindsight, it sounds like it's a more like as you said, duh. But like as you do it, you're like, oh, okay, that actually works a lot.
I'm so glad that you found that helpful. I learned that from another meditation teacher, and that was helpful for me as well, because your mind is generating thought, but it's about what we're choosing, where we're choosing to place our attention. Yeah. Thank you. For those of you who are here for the first time, next Sunday will be Geshe Pende, and he gives a meditation and talk on compassion, sometimes self-compassion, compassion for others. So please come back. I'd love to see you. That's always a beautiful practice. And if you're more interested, or in addition interested in the CBCT program that's offered through Emory University, I'm not sure I mentioned that, but there are these little cards that look like this on the counter, and it has some information. We have a new digital learning platform for CBCT, and the overview module is free. You can set up an account if you'd like to just get more information about that program, or I'm here for the tea as well. And this is a great book if you want to get Geshe Lobsang's book. I think it's in our bookstore. It is, yeah, great. Thank you so much. Good to see everybody, and let's have tea.